What was once the most popular real-time strategy game on Facebook is no more. Flash player ending on December 31st, 2020 means that this game is no longer available. It started out in the early alpha footage you just saw, but quickly grew. It had 3 employees originally, growing up to 12 over the first 4 years, and finally up to 150 employees by 2012. The game hit 1 million installs by August 25th, 2010, and grew exponentially to have 2 million under a month later on September 23rd. Again, 3 million on October 16th, 2010. But this game stopped making money a few years later in 2012-2013. It just wasn't making money compared to Kixeye's other games at that time, such as Battle Pirates, which you'll know me from, and War Commander, the original web-based version. It just wasn't worth spending resources on a game that was completely unprofitable. But before we get into the reasons, let's take a look back at some of the monsters that we had. You're watching through some of this stuff, and you can take a moment to pause and read through the screen for a moment of nostalgia if you want to, and this is all on 2x speed. It was fairly interesting and was fairly unique. You could have your own monsters in your yard that you sort of owned and had. You could attack other players' villages, you could find people, you could fight NPCs. It was originally a great game, and it had a fun aspect too. The developers made a game that they wanted to play, and that's how it started out, as a labor of love. Now, one of the reasons that it eventually fell out of favor was Clash of Clans. If you are watching this in 2020 or even any point in the future, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Clash of Clans is a massively popular mobile game which looks very, very similar to Backyard Monsters. It's got the same yard aspect, it's the same view perspective, it has the same walls, the same buildings, almost the same strategies, but it is massively different. And Backyard Monsters did actually try to compete with this with a mobile game, Backyard Monsters Unleashed, which flopped even harder than this. Now, there were great things in this game that you're seeing. We had cool monsters, we could have things that were flying, things went after resources, a whole bunch of different options, and it was really fun while it lasted. And this was especially true for, at that time, there was no fancy stuff. This was running on Flash Player, which Adobe Flash has stopped supporting. It was probably ahead of its time and was really, really fun. We also had things besides the regular monsters such as Champions, the first one, the Korlath, which was pretty popular, and you could only earn this thing from a special event. It could go on attack for you, take down resources, it could shoot at air units, it could go on defense and stomp enemy things. But that just wasn't good enough. We had another 3 champions released. We had the Droll, the attacking one, a Gorloth, a defending one, and some more healing ones too, things that made your army stronger. Not only did you have these, you had extra features being added, some of which were good, and we had, the defending monsters, the attacking monsters, but you started to see things that were too complicated, like the Inferno monsters and the evil base, it seemed like. You could even transfer these between yards. There was just so much more stuff to do, and that ended up with you attacking a whole different subset of bases. We also had World Map 2. Both of these were likely seen as make or break features for the game, and they really didn't work. The game was unprofitable, and people stopped spending resources and time on it. They eventually, at least the game studio Kixeye, shifted back towards their cash cows of Battle Pirates, War Commander, some other things, which are still around to this day and have survived the death of Adobe Flash. But I think it's worth taking a look back at Backyard Monsters, what the game used to be, and just having a memory. Thank you to all the devs who have worked on this. Thank you to everything that this game has come through. Let me know in the comments, have you played this game? Do you wish you could have played it one more time? What do you remember about it? Thanks for watching this very different video, and as always, this is Derpy, signing out, helping you be a better pirate.